Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part we are learning about how to create an end-to-end sales performance dashboard which will give business intelligence overview where you can see total sales, total profit, total number of orders, what is average sales and what is average sales per year, and particularly how to write these different type of DAX expressions to calculate these measures. Then total sales and profit by category of product, total sales by segment, by subcategory, by region. Then for location based analysis we have latitude and longitude, and we are going to use that and use the region as a legend. Total sales by product, this is basically total sales by product, and it is top 5 products by total sales. You can rename it as that also. Here we have like for corporate segment what is total sales, home office what is total sales. You can select these segments, regions, country, etc. If we select the central region, you will be able to see the performance. So everything that you see here will be taught in this tutorial. In the data set we have two tables, one with order breakdown and one with list of orders, which will create this model. On the basis of that we will try to create a dashboard like this. Let's get started with it. So the data set that we are going to use in this project is this data set of global product orders. So this data set has two parts. One is list of orders and another is order breakdown. In list of orders you can see we have order ID with order date, customer name, city, country, region, segment, shipping date, shipping mode, state, even longitude and latitude are given. An order breakdown is given by what product was ordered, how much discount was given, what was sales value, what was profit, quantity, category and subcategory of that particular product. So now we will connect these two tables in our favorite BI tool and then start analyzing the data. Now we will quickly open Power BI desktop. In Power BI desktop, because the file is given as Excel file, so we are going to connect that file. I have named this folder as customer service analysis dataset, and if we are doing orders analysis, we will open the dataset, and now you can see we are seeing two different sheets here. Whenever you will see these different sheets in a file, you can connect them and then you can simply load. Now after loading, you can see we have these two files here. If you will go to table view, you can check different columns, and if you will go to model view, you will be able to see that between these two tables, because order ID is common, so the relationship is already established. Otherwise you can go to manage relationship and create a new relation here. Select table 1, select the column which is common, select table 2, select column which is common, and it will detect the type of relationship and you can click OK. So now we have simply created it, and let's add a simple text box here. This text box is going to represent what we are doing here. So I'm just going to name it as end-to-end sales performance, a business intelligence overview. You can increase the font size, make it bold if you need, and this will be our title. If you want, you can use smaller font size also, because we need to put different elements here. And this is our heading, so we can resize and reposition our heading accordingly. You can disable the filters. Here you can go to effects, make sure your text is selected, and from here we can enable some shadow. Here we can select a color, so you can select the color according to your theme and align it to center. From view we can go and select a theme or define our own colors. as per brand guideline if needed. So let's say we are going with this color. So in this theme you will find different colors. You can select any one of them. Next is we are also going to insert a sidebar which will contain our filters. So we are going to insert a shape here, and that shape is going to be like this. So in this shape we can insert some filters which we are going to do later. And here for this shape we can go to style and select a particular color. So we can select the same color as we are going for heading, or we can select a different color. It's your choice. Now we will create a dashboard. Here are some dashboard ideas. We can create a sales performance overview, customer segmentation. So if we are doing sales performance overview, we can show total sales, total profit, total quantity with the help of card or KPI tiles. We can show product by product category, profit by product category, subcategory, etc. So for sales performance overview, we will create some KPIs using the card visuals, and here we have the card visual. In this card visual we can put a field. So here, because we are creating end-to-end sales performance, so here we will bring sales, although we are going to put different KPIs. So when you will put it, you will see it is showing us sum of sales. You can also show average, minimum, maximum sales. Once your card is selected, you can go to card, format your visual setting. There you have general setting, effects, and you can enable shadow here. We can also go to visual setting, callout value. We can reduce the value size to around 30. This is your choice. And in this we can select the same color. And for our category label, we can select another color. We can make both of them bold as well, and we can reduce their height as per requirement. So this is sum of sales. We can create a copy of it. So press Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Here we can also, we have to find out how many orders are there. So if you remember from this, we have sales performance, total sales, total profit, and total quantity. So we can similarly bring total profit also and rename for this visual as total profit. So when we are not using heading, we can rename using these fields themselves. So this is total sales, this is total profit, and we can create another card here that is going to show us total number of orders. For that we are putting order ID. Order ID is a non-numerical value, that's why we are not seeing sum or average here. So that's why we are going to bring count distinct. So and here we will just rename for this visual as count of orders. So this way you will have your end-to-end sales performance KPIs. Let's say you also want to find out total number of customers. So since we have both the tables in our model view, to bring total number of customers, we also have customer name in the list of orders, although we don't have customer ID. So what we can do, we can find out count of distinct customers here. So we are just going to find out count of distinct customer names, and we will rename for this visual as count of customers. And similarly, to complete the first row, we can create another visual here, and in this visual we can find something else like what are different locations or regions to which we are selling. So if you will go to table, you will see countries. So we want to see how many different countries are there. So for that we can do the same thing, and here we will write total countries or total locations, whatever you want to provide, or total countries covered, and here we will select count of distinct. So this particular company has made total sales of 2 million, has made a profit of 283k. There are 4,000 plus orders, 364 different customers have made these orders, and they are selling to total 15 different countries. Here we can insert some button. So here we can insert some image, sorry. So I have a folder where I keep my assets, so I can use any one of them. These different assets are for different type of analysis projects which I have created using Canva. I'm going to select this image for now, and you can see it's a transparent image, so you can use other images accordingly. So in footer I am just adding my note here. If we provide live interactive data analytics classes, if you want to learn data analytics from scratch or Power BI, if you are a manager or a student who wants to learn data analytics skills, you can contact us at slidescope.com. This is our sales performance overview. So we will create this dashboard, and in second part if needed we will also provide other details, or we will create another dashboard with more advanced calculations. So we have created these KPIs without any calculated measures, but if you want you can right click here and create a new measure and call that measure total sales. So in total sales we can use sum function, and in the sum function you have to put column name, and to put column name you have to write down the name of your table and then write the name of your column in square brackets. So this way you can create a measure called total sales, and if needed like we can bring it here. Okay, so as you can see it is showing the same value, but this way you can create some measures. Now let's say your target, you have a target profit. Okay, so we can create a new measure here, and in that new measure we can define target profit. We can either put a value or we can decide something like 10% of total sales, something like that. So depending upon your condition, 10, 15, 20%, whatever is your target profit, you can create that. We also have a KPI visual here. So this is the KPI visual, and in this KPI visual what different fields do we have is we have a value and we have a target value. Okay, so for value what we can do, we can add something like profit, sum of profit, and here in target value, since we have target profit, so we can add something like that. Okay, and in your trend axis, because we already have the order date, so we can add order date, and this way you will be able to see what was the goal. And so this is sum of profit and target profit by order date, and you can position this anywhere. I'm just putting it here. Later if needed I will disable it, and here we can go to title and select it as profit KPI. In effects we can disable the background of it. Title is something that we can select like this color, and align it to center. In these KPI visuals, you can see we have call out value, icons, like you can define the size of these icons. You have trend axis, good color, you can select green obviously, but I am just selecting light green so that I can show over this dark background. So this is something that I am just putting here to show you what you can do with the help of these target measures. Now let's say we have to find out average sales. Finding out average sales is very easy. Like you can create a measure and you can write something like average sales, and here you can write average function, and you can write the name of your column. So that column is order breakdown, and in that column we can select sales or profit, whatever you want to select, and that will be your average sales. Okay, so that's what we have calculated, average sales. And if you want, you can now use those KPIs. So this will be the value of average sales. But what if you have to find out average sales per year? Okay, so if we see in our orders, we can see we have values from 2011 and up to 2014. So average sales per year. For that, we have to do row wise calculation. Okay, and that's why average sales per year will be calculated with the help of average X function. So earlier we studied average, now we are studying average X. In average X, you calculate the average of a set of expression evaluated over a table. So in average X, the first argument is table. So in tables, we can select values. What values does? Values selects unique values from a column. So if you see the values function use, when a column name is given, it returns a single column table of unique values. So first we are creating a single column table of unique values. Basically we are creating how many total distinct years are there. So it will be a table with 2011, 12, 13, 14, these years. And then second is your expression. That means what you want to calculate. So we have total sales value. So we want to calculate the arithmetic mean of total sales for these years. If there are 5 years, it will be divided by 5. If there are 10 years, it will be divided by 10, and so on. So this will be average sales per year. So here we can add that. So these type of things can be done, and you can see average sales per year. If you closely divide it by 4, maybe we'll get. So this way you can calculate these things, calculate these measures, and use different functions. We also have another function that is average, and that is average A. So it also returns the average of the values, but it handles text and non-numeric values. On the other hand, average returns arithmetic mean of all numbers in a column. Okay, so sometimes numbers are given as a non-numerical value, or sometimes it may be given as true, false. Those kind of values are given. So we will study about that also in our other classes. But here you can see the difference between average and average X, because average X does it row wise. So in a table where there are 4 rows or 5 rows and sales is written, it will calculate its average. Now we have different type of parameters or different type of categorical fields, like city is there, country is there. In order breakdown also we have category. So now we can calculate these things. So first we will do category wise sales. So for category wise sales, we will create a simple bar chart. That is the chart that you can use for category wise sales, and you can put your category on y-axis, because here we have selected a stacked bar chart, and on x-axis we will bring total sales. If you also want to analyze total profit, so you can add that as well here, because this is a stack chart. So this is total sales and profit by category. So we can go to title and write something like total sales and profit by category. Okay, and here we can select this color as our title, make it bold and align it to center. For this we can go to general tab, effects, and we can enable a shadow as well. Now let's copy this, and here we have total sales and profit by category. Next thing that we have is subcategory. So for that I will use a simple donut chart, and I will remove category or replace category with subcategory, and I will just put sales here. So this will be total sales by subcategory, and this will help anyone analyzing what is subcategory wise performance. And you can see in subcategory, bookcases are the subcategories with highest amount of sales. Okay, so this is something that you can create here, and we can reduce the size so that we can put more charts over here. Next we can also use a tree map for this categorical type of analysis, where we have a categorical data and a numerical data. So in a tree map we can put the categorical field in the category section, and whatever we are measuring in the values section. So instead of subcategory we can put name of segment here. So what is segment wise sales? Now what I am going to do is I will keep subcategory here, because in subcategory actually we have more values, and here I will just do it segment wise, and we can see that consumer is the segment with highest amount of sales. Okay, next we also have region, so we can define region wise, and for that we can select a simple pie chart, and in region wise you can see in the central region we have the highest amount of sales. So this creates our first row of visuals, where we have created uh, where we have analyzed different type of categorical fields that we have. Next we also have different products. So if we want to analyze which are the top selling products, so for that I will simply copy this chart, and I'm going to use a clustered bar chart here, and I will just select product name. So it will arrange the data according to products. Okay, and here you can see, and first thing I have to do is I have to change these names. So this will be total sales by segment. So when we are doing the naming from our end, we have to be very careful with it. This will be total sales by region. This will be total sales by product name. Next, because we have so many products, so suppose we want to select only top 5 products. So here when you will go to filter section, by selecting this visual, product is given as all. We will do top n filtering, and let's say we want to select top 5 products, and in by value I will write total sales and apply filter. So these are the top 5 products by total sales. Here if you want to show the value also, so you can enable data labels, and now you can see the color. Similarly, obviously total sales will also always be positive, but suppose there is something negative also. So because there are so many subcategories, is there a subcategory with which has lower profit or which has profit as negative. So we can copy this chart and put it here, and in this chart we will convert it to a clustered column chart because we have so many different subcategories. And instead of product we will bring subcategory, and instead of this we will bring profit. Okay, so and we will remove any filter that is there. So this way you will be able to see that indeed there are some categories or subcategories where profit is actually negative, and that is tables. Okay, and all other values are positive. So this way you can create this type of charts. So let's say in the second row we will keep it to uh, 1/3 of the width. So you can do it like that, and here we can create another copy of it and put it here. And since we have a lot of different cities and countries also, so we want to analyze accordingly. So for this I am going to select the bubble map or map. In map we have legend, bubble size and location. So in location we can add city or country also. I'm just showing you simple thing. So if you will add country, you will see these are the countries from where we have the data. Okay, so you can select them, but here we always also have latitude and longitude. So in latitude I will put the latitude value, in longitude similarly the longitude, and you can see it will be covered. Next thing is in legend I will put region like east, west, north, south, whatever region is there. So it will color them accordingly. And in bubble size, like smaller sales values will be of a smaller bubble size and so on. So I will just put total sales. Okay, and when we will open this, you can see some bubbles are small, some bubbles are bigger. For example, here in central region total sales is more. So you will be able to see this location wise, and in location if we put country or sorry city, so then we can remove latitude and longitude from here, and it will try to pick up city wise. But the problem is the same city name can be in different continents also, different countries also. That's why we preferred showing them with this latitude and longitude. So it's your choice however you want to display, and we will not put average. Let me select that. And if you are getting any type of issue, so make sure your latitude and longitude are selected as don't summarize, and this will be total sales by location. So we have a title here, total sales by location. So here you can see we are showing profit, we are showing sales, and we have not done customer segmentation here. In the second part we will also do customer segmentation and focus on top N analysis. But before that we are going to create a slicer. That's why we created this sidebar. So in the slicer we will create width like that, and we will bring segment. So slicer setting I will select as drop down, and I will select the slicer background color as transparent. So in effect we can reduce the background color or remove the background color. In slicer header we are going to select this font color, and we can also enable some kind of shadow. So that will create our slicer. So similarly we can copy it, and we can bring region here, we can bring country here. So customer segmentation, country wise, region wise analysis is something that we are going to do in the next part. but here we can put them as filters at least. And in the next part you will also learn how to create a multi-page report with page navigation features. So we have segment, region, country. We can also put category, subcategory, different type of filters can be added in. So the purpose of these type of charts is to give you an idea of how to do analysis, how to create this type of simple dashboards to show sales performance, profit performance, so that one can understand easily. Here, for example, we have selected a clustered column chart. So with sum of profit, we can always bring sum of sales also, so that you will be able to analyze for what amount of sales we received, that amount of profit. So this is something that you can do. I'm just removing it because I just want to focus on profit here. And this is total profit by product. So make sure if I have left any title, or if I have mentioned any title incorrectly, please change accordingly. This is a simple dashboard based on list of orders and orders breakdown data set that we had. Try this from your end and let us know if you have any questions. You can ask them in the comment section. If you have any suggestions, you can give them in the comment section as well. Project link, dataset link, everything will be given in the description of this video. So expand that video description and get the link from here.